Hey guys, for today's video I wanted to do a very tropical inspired look using Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I don't know about you guys, but I really love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes and I really cannot get over how affordable they are. So for today's video I really wanted to keep with a kind of affordable theme. So for today's look I'm going to be using Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, of course, and then I'm going to be using affordable brushes as well. So for today's video, I really wanted to keep with a more affordable theme with the eyeshadow palettes that I was using as well as with the brushes. And I know that affordability is definitely something that is very personal. What I may find affordable, you may not, and vice versa. But for today's video, I really wanted to keep with a more kind of like drugstore price range of items. But yeah, if you guys would like to see how I did this tropical inspired look, just stay tuned on watching. Next I am going to set my eyeshadow primer using a skin tone colored eyeshadow with a Real Techniques medium shadow brush. I'm just doing a really light layer too. I'm not doing anything super pigmented, just enough to set the primer. So the first palette we are going to go into today is the Juvia's Place The Zulu palette, and I'm going to go into this bright yellow shade with an AOA Studio E130 brush. And with this brush I'm going to apply the color in this outer V, and I'm going to buff it upwards into my crease and up to my brow bone. And I'm really buffing this shade out as well towards my brow bone. I really want a huge gradient effect with this look. So the next shade I'm going to go into out of the Zulu palette is the orange, and I'm going to go in with an AOA Studio E128 brush. And with this shade I am going to apply it into my crease. I don't really want to bring this one upwards, I just kind of want to keep the definition of the shade in the crease. I'm also going to use it to kind of round out my outer V. I think I'm coming down with a cold, or I'm having like an allergy type of thing because my voice is so hoarse. And like my ears feel plugged, and like when I talk it sounds like muffled. Lucky me. I used to never get sick either, and then now it's like I get sick I think like 3 times a year, and it is so annoying. Like right now it's like I just feel puffy and just nasally and I just want to crawl back in bed. I don't know if you guys get like that too, but maybe the weather too, because it's super cold here. So to help me blend out this orange, I am going to take a little bit more yellow on that E130 brush that we previously used, and I'm going to go right over the edges of the orange into these little circular motions to try to blend out the edge. Doing this, you might have to go back and forth in between the yellow and the orange because you may lose some intensity of the orange while doing this. So the next shade we are going to go into out of the Zulu palette is the Hot Pink with a Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. And when I apply the Hot Pink, I am going to raise my eyebrows a little bit and then really pack this into my crease to give myself a little bit more definition and to bring a little bit more of this hot pink color into the look. So I'm really focusing on this into the crease, and then I'm also using it to round out my outer V. By tilting my head back and applying the color, I am able to get a more defined crease and make sure that the color is going into the crease and not onto the eyelid. And it just helps to really be able to see everything as well. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of orange on that E128 again, just lightly dust the edges of the hot pink just to bring a little bit more orange back into the look. I honestly need to pick up more Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. They are just so good. They're really pigmented, but you know, they do take a little bit longer to blend out sometimes, but honestly, for the price and the quality of the eyeshadows overall, you really cannot go wrong. I mean, I have a couple shadows in each of my palettes that are a little bit of a dud to me, but overall I really enjoy using them, and I love to use them in my tutorials because I know you guys like them too. My voice is so crazy hoarse right now. I'm sorry if this tutorial is a little bit shorter in length than my normal ones, but I'm also trying to kind of shorten my tutorials and really dedicate them to teaching you guys how to blend and like the steps I take to blend out my eyeshadows and kind of take away from like the chattiness. I don't know if you guys are like interested in that or if you like the longer tutorials with more chattiness. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer. So the next palette I'm going to go into is the Juvia's Place The Saharan 2 palette, and I'm going to go into Genre right here with a Morphe M507 brush. And then with Genre, I'm going to apply this into my crease to add more definition. I'm also going to use it to round out my outer V. And then to help me blend out Genre, I'm just taking a little bit of that pink again out of the Zulu palette on that Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, and I'm just buffing out the edge. And you might have to go back in with the orange and the yellow just to get a seamless blend. But for right now, I think I'm good with just adding the pink. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more Genre. Again, just focusing it into my crease. And then off camera, I'm just going to do a cut crease using my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C0.5 with a BH Cosmetics Flat Shader Brush. Once the concealer has set for the cut crease, I am going to go into the blue shimmer shade out of the Zulu palette with a BH Cosmetics flat shader brush. And with a damp brush, I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. And I'm also going to bring it all the way up to where that cut crease is. And when I'm applying the blue, I'm making sure that I'm really packing this on top of the concealer. I'm not going side to side because you will lose pigmentation, but if you really pack it on, you'll get true color. Once you get the blue applied, I'm going to take a little bit of that pink out of the Zulu palette, again on that Essential Crease Brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to buff this outer edge of my cut crease, just to get rid of this harsh line. And I'm bringing the color in about 1/3 of the way, kind of where my eye color starts right here. And again with that Real Techniques brush, now I'm going to go in with Zanra out of the Saharan 2 palette. I'm just going to lightly fluff this next to that kind of purpley shade that we got with the pink, just to deepen up this outer V. I'm only putting this in the outer V too, I'm not bringing it onto the lid. I just want it for the definition. So here is where I'm at right now with the look, and then off camera I'm just going to do the final touches. So here is where I'm at right now with the look, and then for the lower lash line, I'm going to take my Essential Crease Brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going to kind of push my finger on the bristles ever so lightly just to kind of thin out the brush so it's not so kind of thick. And then I'm going to run whatever's left underneath my lower lash line. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to go into the Saharan 2 palette again, and I'm going to dip into this light gold shade called Aziza with an EcoTools smudge brush. So with a dampened brush, I'm going to add this shade into my inner corner. Really heavily, actually. I'm pretty much packing it in. And then I'm also going to take a little bit underneath in this little tear duct area. This will help give the lower lash line a little bit more pizzazz in a way, and it'll kind of open up the eyes as well. So here is the finished look. It is definitely more on the tropical side. With all the cold weather here, I thought why not do something a little bit more warm instead of like cool toned. I almost did a blue smoky eye today, but then I was like, you know what? I want to do something warm because maybe if I do something warm, maybe I'll get warmer out because right now it is freezing. For today's look, I also wanted to keep things more on the affordable side, so I decided to use Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I really love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I think they are amazing, and not only are they very affordable in price, they seriously have sales like going on all the time. Sometimes they have like 20% off, sometimes they have 50% off. You just want to keep with their email alerts. But the eyeshadows that they have are very high quality and they're very pigmented, and you know, sometimes they're not the easiest to use, but overall I really enjoy using them, and I think they have just a great color selection as well. With this look, I also wanted to make sure that I was using more affordable brushes, and I wanted to make sure I was using ones that you could find at like a Walmart or an Ulta, and then I did use a couple that you can find on Shop Missa, which is a very affordable website as well. My voice is starting to get super hoarse right now, but let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this look, as well as in the comments let me know what your favorite Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette is, or if you have never purchased from Juvia's Place, let me know which one that you would think is the coolest looking. As always, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you would like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and until next time, bye!